So we've got ourselves another car from the auction block, this one of the runner, non-runner variety. Allow me to explain. And to be specific, I'm talking about a 1995 Honda Del Sol. Hey, how's it going, do-it-yourselfers? So you heard that right, got me yet another car from the auction block, this one a Civic Del Sol. So in this video, I'll tell you some general specs about the engine and transmission on these cars, some general info as to things that may go wrong on these cars if you're ever interested in buying one of these. Also, obviously, we'll go over what's wrong with this car specifically, what needs to be fixed and done to get this car into a point where I can sell this and hopefully make a little profit to pay for this garage that I recently built. And this car actually has an interesting, non-common problem that makes it technically a runner, but you're not gonna dare run this car unless you don't like money and you wanna spend a lot of time fixing the engine. All right, so let's get the specs out of the way, and these are gonna be for the US market only. So these Civic Del Sols were made from 1993 to 1997. Now, depending on the model and the trim, you had an option for a 1.5 liter single overhead cam, non-VTEC engine, or a 1.6 liter single or dual overhead cam, VTEC just kicked in yo engine. And also these cars had a curb weight of 2,295 pounds to 2,535 pounds. But as far as what engine is in this car specifically, this baby's got the 1.6 liter single overhead cam, VTEC just kicked in yo engine. Got a red line of 7,200 RPM, but realistically you can probably get it up to 7,800 RPMs, and also the VTEC kicks in yo at 4,800 RPMs. Now supposedly starting in 1995, a couple of upgrades were made to these cars. For starters, the cars that were equipped with a VTEC engine came with ABS. Again, this car is a 1995 with a VTEC yo engine, but as you can see, it does not come with ABS, unfortunately. Now, I don't know if the ABS upgrade for the 95s and above was for the Japanese market only maybe, or maybe only some of the 95 Del Sols in the US had that upgrade. But if you live in the US and you have the Del Sol with the VTEC engine and you have ABS, please leave a comment down below. I'll be interested to find out. Also, another upgrade that the 95s are supposed to have is the seals for the Targa top, which is basically this removable top that's up here. Were upgraded so that you don't get as much leaks. The Del Sols, early on, you know, right from the first year, right from the get-go, out of the factory even, the seals on these guys leaked pretty bad. You know, they leak from the front, the back. Also, there are leaks right here. You can get leaks from here into the footwell area, and it could get inside the cabin. Now, I don't know why this seal around this windshield is removed. Perhaps they were trying to track this down. Maybe they had a leak, they were trying to track it down, or maybe it was just worn out and they just pulled it off. Whatever reason, you do get a lot of water leaks on these cars. You know, you get water leaks from this side, that side as well. The seals around the Targa top. Now, luckily, I live in Southern California where we don't get a whole lot of rain, and this car looks to be local. I don't see a whole lot of signs for rust or anything like that, but if you're buying one of these and you live in an area where you get a lot of rain, make sure you inspect the footwell area, pull the carpet back, see if there's any rust spots. Also, you can check out the bolts for the seats. You know, if they're rusted or if you see any signs of rust on the bolts, then that definitely means you're getting you know, water intrusion into the cabin. You can get down there, check the bolts on the back of the seats as well. Also open the trunk, get in there and remove the carpet, take a look at the spare tire well area, make sure no water has been sitting there, there's no signs of rust, and as you can see, this is pretty clean. This car is really clean. Now, one cool feature on these cars is that you can remove the Targa top and put it in the trunk. You remove it, there are latches inside that you can use to remove that top easily. You put it in here, on this framing, and you use these guys to lock it in place. That way, you know, you can put the top in here, it's locked in place, you can go driving around and not worrying about it banging around and getting damaged. Now, unfortunately, I cannot remove this top to show you guys because on the inside, there are two latches here that are broken on this. Basically, you would press this in, pull that latch down, and then you can remove the Targa top. But since it's broken on both sides, I cannot do that right now. Now, other upgrades for the 95 Del Sol was that they came with new design alloy wheels. And as you can see, these are not it. Not it. Now, there's good tires on these though, so that's good. But hopefully I can source some factory alloy wheels for this guy. Also, you may be interested to know that starting in 1995, Honda stopped calling these cars the Honda Civic Del Sol and simply went by the term Del Sol. But as you may know, still to this day, a lot of people use those two names interchangeably. But now let's get to the brass tacks and go over what's wrong with this car specifically. what makes it a runner, non-runner, what needs to be fixed to get this car into a condition where we can hopefully sell it and make a little bit of a profit. All right, so for starters, again, I bought this car at the auction. I had some pictures that I could zoom in and check out the body and the paint. I'll go over those in a little bit with you. But also in the description, it said that it was a runner, but that it needed belts. So if it's a runner but needs belts, well, the good news is that it doesn't need the timing belts, so the timing belt is probably not broken. Also looking at the engine here, you can see that the belts are still here, but they're simply not on. Hey, what gives? All right, so if you look closer, let me get this belt out of the way. You can see that our belts are not on because our harmonic balancer is not on. And our harmonic balancer that goes here is not on because our crankshaft bolt has broken off. And if you look closer, you can actually see our crankshaft gear right there rubbing against our timing belt cover. So basically, the only thing that's keeping that crankshaft gear on is this timing belt cover right now. And that makes this a runner, non-runner, because as you may know, these engines are interference engines. And if that crankshaft gear comes off and the timing is off, the valves are going to hit the top of your pistons, the valves are going to be damaged and bent, and you're going to rebuild at the very least the top of your engine, in other words, your cylinder head. And I think what happened here is that, as if you look at these drive belts that are on here, they're pretty badly cracked and worn out. So yeah, maybe the previous owner decided to replace all the belts, because if these drive belts are like this, it's probably the same for the timing belts. But as you may know, these crankshaft bolts on these Honda engines are on there really, really tight. You have to use the biggest or the best impact gun you can find, or use a big, large pry bar to try to knock them loose. So he got down there trying to remove the crankshaft bolts, or maybe took it to a shop, they tried to remove it, it broke off. That's how this car ended up at the auction. Or maybe the crankshaft bolts broke off on its own, because this car has a lot of miles on it. It has 220 something or 230,000 miles on it. So that timing bolt has been replaced a few times. That crankshaft bolt has been replaced or taken out, removed, and retightened a few times. So it's been under a lot of stress. And given the miles, it's not out of reason to think that it could break off on its own. Unfortunately, I cannot start this car for you guys. I wish I could. I really don't want to take a chance. In fact, after this video, I'm just going to push this car to the side here, push it against the wall, and keep it there until I get the harmonic balancer and a new crankshaft bolt. And also, we're going to have to figure out a way to screw out or drill through and remove the remnants of the crankshaft bolt that are still inside our crankshaft. As far as other things wrong with this car, actually there are no engine oil leaks. That's interesting, at least none that I can see right now. There's some power steering fluid leak up here. Our windshield wipers are stuck in this position, and it doesn't matter, if I turn the car on and try to engage them, they don't move. So that's probably an electrical problem there. This window is stuck in the bottom position. The other window is stuck in the up position, and the switches for them don't work, so we'll have to figure that out. This driver's side door panel is in rough shape, as you can see. Same goes actually for the seats. There's a seat cover here, or what used to be a seat cover here, but that's damaged, and so is the seat. As you can see, it's in rough shape, so we have to address that if you want to get good money for this car. Now, the good thing about this car is that the body, the panels, I should say, is in really, really good shape. There's very few dings. There are no dents that you can see. There are very few dings on it. But of course, this being a Southern California car, and being how old this is, the paint is in pretty rough shape. It's faded pretty badly. It's damaged there, damaged on the roof, right here, as you can see. So this paint has to be, probably will paint this car. Good thing is that this is a very small car, so it won't be the hardest job in the world. Probably make for pretty good videos repainting this entire car, making it look brand new. And of course, our headlights are badly faded. Hopefully, we can restore them without much trouble. This one's of course broken, that needs to be replaced. So yeah, that's all it needs done. Complete paint job, the broken crankshaft bolt fixed, a couple of oil leaks, new wheels, some electrical problems, the seat covers, the door panel, and then we're gonna sell it and make a lot of money. At least that's the plan. But hey, as far as you're concerned, you're gonna get to see all sorts of cool videos made using this car. Even if you're not interested in Civic Del Sols, you still get to learn a lot watching those videos, hopefully. But do me a favor and leave a comment down below and let me know how much you think this car will be worth once everything I said will be done to this car. That's, repainting it, fixing the mechanical, electrical problems, the interior, all of that. And I guess I have to say this in every video whenever I ask this question. Let me know how much you think this car will be worth, not how much this car will be worth to you specifically. Because everybody's got their own taste and their own value system, but things have their value of their own. All right, so if you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification. Also check out these other videos that I put links to on, I think they're gonna be on this side of the screen, one below it. Also, you can check out my videos in the suggestion box. Those will work as well. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.